Think inequalities are just equations with signs? Think again. In this lesson, you'll learn how to solve linear, quadratic, absolute value, and rational inequalities step by step, including the biggest mistakes students make on tests. We will start with linear inequalities. So here, you just deal with it algebraically, and you treat the inequality sign as if it was an equal sign. So I'm going to move the negative 3x to this side, becomes positive. I'm going to move the negative 2 to this side, it becomes positive as well, because since they're negative on the other side. So here we're going to have 4x plus 3x is greater than 12. Moving the negative 2 to the other side, it becomes plus 2. Now that's 7x is greater than 14. Divide both sides by 7. And therefore x is greater than or equal, sorry, just greater than 2. I'm going to put that on the number line. There's the 0 there. 2 is somewhere around here. You put an open circle since there's no equal sign with the inequality sign. Greater than is this side, and you shade this region right here. Now let's go to the second one. It's a quadratic. The best way to do this is move the 10 to the other side. So you'll have x squared minus 3x minus 10. When you move the 10 to the side, becomes negative, is less than or equal to 0. At this stage here, you want to factor this. So you'll have x minus 5, x plus 2, two numbers multiply to give you negative 10 and add to give you negative 3. These are the factors, less than or equal to 0. Best thing after this is to draw a number line. Throw in your zeros here, which is x equals 5 and x equals negative 2. So here's the negative 2 somewhere in here, and the 5 is somewhere in here. Okay. Now, if you look at this line, or number line is divided into 3 segments. This one here, this one, and this one. So what you want to do, you're going to take a number in each segment and test it into here. So let's say we're going to take negative 3 or negative 4 or negative 5. Stick to smaller numbers. So I'm going to stick to negative 3 here. So if I put negative 3 into this equation right here, minus 5, and negative 3 plus 2 is less than or equal to 0, that gives me negative 8. And that gives me multiplication, negative 1. Negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8. Is that less than or equal to 0? Definitely not. So that's false. We don't shade in there. Okay. Let's take another a number in the other line segment here. So between negative 2 and 5, best number to test here is 0. You could test negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. But 0 is easier to work with, because if you put in 0 in here, for the x in here and the x here, you just end up with negative 5 times 2 when you're testing 0, and that gives you negative 10, which definitely is less than or equal to 0. So since it's true, you shade in here. Let's take a number in here. Let's take 6. So if we test 6, 6 minus 5 times 6 plus 2 is less than or equal to 0. That's 1. That's 8. 1 times 8 is 8. Is that less than or equal to 0? Definitely not. So therefore, it's false, and we don't shade in here. Therefore, your solution, x is shaded between negative 2 and 5. One mistake, or one thing I forgot to do here, is because there's an equal sign with the inequality sign, these numbers should be shaded, which means any number between negative 2 and 5, if you sub it in the x here, it will give you a true statement. So you take any number, negative 1.5, negative 0.1, 0. As long as it's between negative 2 and 5, this statement will be true. Okay. Now let's go to the next thing. And the next thing here is absolute value. So there are a few things we're going to do here. First thing, we're going to move the 3 to the other side. So we're going to have x minus 2, absolute value. When I move the 3 to the other side, it becomes minus 3. So that's what we have. And therefore, x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 6. Now I'm going to take the absolute value on the side here, which is the x minus 2, absolute valued, and just treat it as if it equals 6. Okay. And you know, when we're solving absolute values, we do 2 conditions where we write x minus 2 equals 6, It's right here. And then, so basically what I did, I just took this, instead of inequality sign, I just put an equal sign. I want to solve and find out what my zeros are. Okay, and therefore, the other condition is x minus 2, but you make it equal -6. Now, this will give you x equals 8, and this will give you x equals -6 plus 2 is -4. Now we do the number line. Put in my zeros, which is the -4. And again, since we have an equal sign, it should be shaded. And the 8, not drawn to scale, but you know what I'm talking about. 8 here. Now you test. This stage, you have 3 segments here to this line. Test in each segment. So take -5 here. If I take -5, I go -5 minus 2, absolute value. That's -7. And the absolute value of -7 is +7. Is that greater than or equal to 0? Sorry, is that greater than or equal to 6? Definitely yes. So I'm going to shade in here. Now let's take a number in here. The best number is between -4 and 8. To test is 0 because that's easy. Then you just put in the 0 there. 0 minus 2 just gives you -2. Absolute value is greater than or equal to 6. The absolute value of -2 is 2. It's greater than or equal to 6. That's definitely false, so you don't shade. You only shade if it's true. Now let's take a number in here. So we're going to take 9 or 10. I'm just going to take 9. 9 minus 2, absolute value is greater than or equal to 6. And that's going to give me 7 is greater than or equal to 6. Definitely true, so you shade in here. And therefore, you write your statement as x, okay, is less than or equal to -4, or x has to be greater than or equal to 8. And that's your final answer. Now, the hardest one for last. So here, what are we going to do with this one? With this one, I'm going to take this here and start factoring the top. So I'm going to have x minus 4, x plus 3. That's how I factor this. 2 numbers multiplied to give me -12 and add to give me -1. There's a 1 here. That's -4 and 3. All over x plus 2. Again, I'm not going to write an inequality sign. I'm just going to write equals 0 and solve this. Now, when we're dealing with inequalities, we know we have a non-permissible value. So my non-permissible value is x cannot equal -2 because we cannot divide by 0, and -2 will make the bottom 0. Okay, so that's one thing. When you're doing your number line, definitely you have to include the non-permissible value in your number line. So, and it has to be, even though this less than or equal, you don't shade this because this is non-permissible. So you don't shade that one. That's just the value that you cannot have because you cannot divide by. Now let's solve this. To solve this, I cross multiply the x plus 2 into the 0. So basically it gives me x minus 4, x plus 3 equals 0. Now I could see what my zeros are right away, which is x equals -3 and 4. I'm going to put these right here. So -3 is right here. And 4 is right here. There's an equal sign there. So the -3 and 4, they must be shaded, but not the non-permissible value. Okay. So now here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 line segments that I have to test in here. Okay. Or in there. Maybe test it like when you're testing, use the x minus 4, x plus 3 over x plus 2. It's easier to deal with the factored form because when you start subbing in numbers, it's easier to see. So here, or easier to calculate. So negative, we're going to use -4 here. So if I use -4 in this line segments, I put in -4, -4, and -4 plus 3 over -4 plus 2. As you see, that's going to be -8 times -1 over -2. -8 times -1 is 8, divided by -2 is -4. Is that less than or equal to 0? Definitely, it is. That's a true statement, so I'm going to shade in here. Now, let's take a number in here. Unfortunately, we have to deal with decimals in here. So if I take a number in here, I'm going to put in negative 3.5, negative 3.5. No, negative 3.5 is on this side. So I meant negative 2.5 minus 4, negative 2.5 plus 3, and negative 2.5 plus 2. Now, sometimes it's a good idea to find out that this here will end up being a negative number. Okay. This here will end up being a positive number because negative 2.5 plus 3 is positive. And in here, negative 2.5 plus 2 ends up being negative. So not negative, okay? So just negative. Don't worry about what the numbers are. Now, negative times positive on top is negative, and then negative divided by negative, you end up with positive number. Is positive number less than or equal to 0? No, it's not. It has to be a negative number to be less than or equal to 0. So therefore, you don't shade there. So that's why we only deal with the signs. You don't even have to calculate the whole thing with the numbers, even when you're testing in here. So if we sub in 0 here, if we sub in 0, 0 minus 4 is negative 4. So that's going to be negative. 0 plus 3 is 3. So that's going to be positive. And 0 plus 2 is positive because it's positive. So it's positive. Now, negative times positive is negative. Negative divided by positive is negative. Is a negative number less than or equal to 0? Definitely. So therefore, this is true. And therefore, you shade in this region where 0 is. Okay. Now, let's take a number here. Let's take 5. If I take 5, and I'm just going to, 5 minus 4 is positive. 5 plus 8 is positive. 5 plus 2 is positive. So now positive times positive, positive divided by positive is positive. So you end up with a positive number. Is that less than or equal to 0? No, a positive number will never be less than 0. So therefore, it's false, and I don't shade there. Now, my solution is x is less than or equal to negative 3, or x is in between negative 2, and make sure you don't put an equal sign because it's an open circle, and 4. If this lesson helped you understand inequalities better, make sure to subscribe and check out my other algebra videos, because mastering math becomes easy when you understand the pattern behind it.